We're here at the World Economic Forum at Davos outside the Microsoft Cafe. I'm thrilled to be here with Pat Gelsinger, the VMware CEO. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Sarah. Great to be able to join you here. What a picturesque location, and looking forward to a good conversation with you today.
So you wrote about the 4 technologies that are going to be more transformative in the next 20 years than any individual nation. Can you tell me what those 4 are?
Yeah, I call them the 4 superpowers of tech today. One is cloud, this idea of unlimited capacity. Really, we can compute anything, right? Mobile, unlimited reach. Literally half the population of the planet is now accessible, right? IoT, crossing the physical to the digital world and really allowing telemetry, automation, and control to just about everything. And then finally, AI. Right, the ability to bring intelligence to everything. And those 4 together really are reinforcing each other. In many regards, AI wouldn't have been possible without cloud, this ability to compute at scale. And where are we going to be able to interact with people? Well, we're going to be able to do it through the mobile devices, and they give us more data that we can improve our analytics. So it really is a reinforcing spiral of those 4 superpowers coming together.
And is there any reason that blockchain didn't make the list?
I think if I was looking at it, if I was a financial services guy, blockchain would be on my list. I think at this point, and I almost think about blockchain like I think about public-private key encryption 20 years ago. It was really a breakthrough for a certain aspect, and maybe next year when we're here, that one will be on my list as well. But I think in a lot of ways, it ends up being really reinforcing of those 4 superpowers.
And when you look at the 4 superpowers of tech, which one do you think is going to have the biggest impact on humanity in the next 20 years?
In many respects, again, all of them working together. But the one I think that actually, really has the opportunity to maybe lift more of humanity than any other is mobility. And, imagine you're a poor farmer in Africa, right? All of a sudden, that mobile phone gives you access to markets, gives you access to weather, gives you access to information on the modern techniques that are going on in the world, maybe financial services. It becomes entirely transformative. And for instance, one of our partners that we've worked with there called Node Africa, they're doing exactly that. And literally you hear these heartwarming stories of a poor farmer who's taken over his father's plot, and now he's 30 to 40% more profitable as a result of just bringing a mobile phone into that environment. And of course, on the back end, it's many of those superpowers are coming together to deliver those new capabilities.
And is the same true for the one, which one do you think will have the most economic impact, or do you think that that's a different superpower?
Yeah, I think if anything, clearly, we view cloud as this unlimited capacity, and literally anybody can build anything on it. And I think today, clearly from the social impact today, and clearly here at Davos, right? Like every other conversation is an AI conversation. What's the impact on workforce? What's the impact on my job? What's the impact on the social policies as well? So that one clearly, if any, today and here at Davos this year is sort of the center of what people are talking about.
And how does VMware fit into all of these superpowers? What are you most excited about that VMware is doing in these spaces?
Yeah, well, in many respects, our core virtualization, VMware virtual machine software, that's our name and our heritage, is part of every cloud. So in many respects, I view us as, cloud wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for VMware. And now we've reached and we're securing, connecting, and managing the mobile devices that businesses use to connect to the cloud. We're also now stretching that to be able to reach to IoT and be able to, if you have, imagine that, you're a city commissioner, right? And you're saying, hey, we're going to have smart streets and smart cities as well. Are they going to be secure? Are they going to be managed? Hey, that's what we're doing to bring IoT into those environments. And of course, we're putting AI into all of our products as well as making sure AI runs on it. So in many regards, we play a role in all 4 of the superpowers, and maybe our heritage is more in the cloud space than any other.
And what would be your response to people like Elon Musk who are worried about AI threatening humanity?
I just disagree. I think his perspective is wrong. I think it's a little bit of, fear-mongering in that respect. I do think that, we have this enormous opportunity, and I think we as technologists to shape technology for good. Technology is largely neutral. Right, the printing press, right? Was it Bibles or Playboy? Every technology has the good and bad aspects to it, and I think AI will be the same way. And as it gets applied to different industries, they have their natural cycles of social and regulatory adoption associated with them, respectively. But I think overall, the technical community needs to be playing a bigger role. And I think this idea of shaping technology for good, like I said, and, being a U.S. citizen, I meet with senators and representatives. These are largely good people who don't understand what technology is, and it's our duty to show up, work with them, and help to shape the policies in the future so that it is a force for good. And we really see many of these superpowers, literally extremism, poverty, education, healthcare. These are the underlying technologies that are enabling breakthroughs in those areas to, I think, in many respects, tackle the greatest threats to humanity today, and I'm thrilled to be part of that.
And before I lose you, can you tell me what got you interested in technology?
Well, I'm from a farming family, and a farming community, the east coast of Pennsylvania. My dad was number 9 of 10 kids. So, and Grandpa had helped son number 1, 2, and son-in-law, and got down to my dad, and he says, "We have enough farms. Just work with your brothers." Had my dad had his own farm, I'd be a farmer today. Right? Because I liked working with my dad. He was, I liked, the farming life. So somewhat it was almost an accident, right? And Intel came recruiting, and it was a free trip to California. And boy, hey, 18 years old, never been on an airplane, sign me up. But I'm not moving. They're crazy out there. And became early at Intel and technology. Became CTO for Intel. It's really been a Cinderella career in that spect. And even now 38 years into the technology industry, I'll just say I'm as fired up about tech and how we truly can shape humanity, improve the quality of life for every human on the planet. And it's just been a privilege to come from a very rural backwater farming community, and now being on a stage like World Economic Forum and speaking about the superpowers of technology. It's like pinch me, wake me up. It's almost like a dream 38 years later.
And if you have any advice for people that want to get into this space, and what kind of people are you looking for to hire for VMware?
Yeah, well, 2 different aspects to that, Sarah. One is everybody needs to be a technologist going forward. And I sort of joke in the past, we said, hey, if you're going to school, you need to learn read, write, and arithmetic. In the future, it's read, write code, and arithmetic. Because literally, technology is becoming part of everything. If you're, in a marketing role, hey, you want to know sentient analysis, and you want to be able to analyze data and so on. That sounds like computer science to me. Imagine you're in finance, right? Guess what? You're running spreadsheets, you're running, different analytic analysis. Sounds like technology to me. Every industry, and really this is what I call tech is breaking out of tech, and it's coming into every business is becoming a technology business, and every aspect of every business is becoming a technology business. So I really see it's, everybody needs to become more technologically aware as we move forward. Now, clearly in our space, we're out for, people who write the best code on the planet. We're out, people who really want to do these disruptive, innovative, impossible things, as we say. Before we get started, it's seen as impossible. When we're done, it's seen as commonplace because we've made it capable that everybody is taking advantage of it. So we're looking for the best and brightest, people who are passionate, who live our corporate values, who want to do good things, but also do them the right way, be involved in their communities, and really people who are world changers.